y'all, thanks for joining me today. Candace Gillespie here from Candace'sCanvases.com. This is Cards Monday. Happy Labor Day to all of you in the States. I hope you're enjoying some barbecue and some time with your family and celebrating a Monday off. So I'm going to show you how to make a fun thank you card, and if you watch till the very end, you get to find out who won the giveaway. So stay tuned to the very end. Now, first things first, I am using the stamp set called Big Thank You. No, it's called Another Thank You. It's a photopolymer stamp set, and I am using my Stampin' trimmer and cutting this piece of cardstock to measure 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to be my working piece. So this is Whisper White cardstock. You may or may not know, but Whisper White cardstock takes our ink perfectly. It's just ideal to use. And then I'm using some Versamark ink to ink up this stamp that says thank you, and it's a huge thank you that covers almost the whole card front, which is why I've called this a big thank you. So ink that up, and then I'm going to stamp it somewhat in the center here of this cardstock piece, and I'm using the Iridescent Ice Stamp Emboss powder, going over that. Now this is going to emboss clear with just some glitter sparkle in it, which is really pretty. Using my heat tool here, and just going to go ahead and melt that down. Oh, it looks like before I do, I'm going to just use this little paintbrush to kind of get off the excess stuff there. Okay, so fast forward to the end, and you can see it is clear and glittery, and we're going to do some resist distressing here. First things first, I'm using my Project Life corner rounder to round the corners on this piece of cardstock. Then I'm going to use some pink Pirouette Classic Stampin' ink to start distressing. I've chosen 3 colors, and you can technically call this a monochromatic card because these colors are very similar to one another. So here's the pink Pirouette, and I'm just kind of distressing it at random. I don't have any specifics on how I'm doing this. I'm just thinking I want 3 colors on here. Here's some Blushing Bride, which is just a shade darker than pink Pirouette, and I'm kind of distressing that along the sides of that pink Pirouette and just kind of in random places. Okay, and now I'm going to grab the Calypso Coral Classic Stampin' ink, and this is going to be given away, the Calypso Coral. You'll find out at the end of this video to whom. I'm so excited. This is my first giveaway, and it was so fun. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed. You have to pardon my congestion here. I'm fighting a cold. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and who has participated. It was so fun writing down all the names, and it's just a fun little experience. Okay, so I have a spritzer here that when I'm all done inking it all up, I'm just spritzing. This is just plain water, and I'm dripping that onto this card front. And what it's going to do, it's going to react to this dye-based ink because the ink is water soluble. So the water here will kind of push it away and leave these cool little watermarks on here, which just gives it another layer of interest. Okay, and here is from my Itty Bitty Accents pack. This is the heart, and I'm going to punch a white heart out of the a Whisper White scrap piece of cardstock. Excuse me. I'm using my paper snips and some Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I'll use my paper piercing tool to pick up that little piece that I cut out to adhere to the back of the heart. And then stick that on there, but before I do, I'm just using the same 3 colors to kind of distress the edges, so it's not a stark white piece of cardstock where everything else is distressed. And then before I'm done with that, I am bringing in some Dazzling Details. You've seen me use this quite a bit lately, but the Dazzling Details, once it dries, it'll kind of mimic or match that Iridescent Ice embossing stamp emboss powder. Okay, that's somewhat done. We're going to put it aside to dry, and then we're going to work on the inside card base. Now this piece of cardstock here is a scrap piece, so my guess is that maybe it measures about 3 inches or 3¼ inches, and I cut it down to 5½, so it's going to leave me a nice border. I'm using my clear mount block A, which is the smallest clear mount block, and from that same Another Thank You photopolymer stamp set, this So Much is getting stamped in the top center there in Calypso Coral. Once that's done, I'm going to start some distressing. So I'm going to take the edges of this piece and distress that with the same 3 colors in completely random areas along the edges here. Just about done. I'm using the pink Pirouette, and I think I started with the Calypso Coral, and here I'm ending with the Blushing Bride. Excuse me. Okay, so that piece is done, and now on the inside here, I'm going to do the same technique, only I'm not going to get the center strip because that's going to be covered up. To hold this down, I'm just using some masking tape, and I'm using 2 strips of that because I don't want to get ink on the top portion of this card. And starting with the Calypso Coral, just going in from the outside in random spots, distressing it. Adding the pink Pirouette. Sped this up for you so you didn't have to watch it. And then the Blushing Bride. And then I'm using the same water droplet technique that I used on the card front, on the sides here where I've just inked it. Then I'm going to use some Tombow multi-purpose adhesive to adhere this strip of cardstock. Now I realized only just now when I'm done with all the work that I cut it a little bit too short, but my vision was that I wanted it to go all the way down to the bottom and all the way up to the top, but it's okay, and it still gives it that feel. I'm using a scratch piece of cardstock to close the lid, or to close it so that I can go back to the front, bringing in lots of Stampin' dimensionals. Once I was done, I realized I could have even used more than what I have put on there, more dimensionals, just because of the water. It kind of made it feel like water was on there, and if I put more dimensionals on there, it would have stuck down more evenly, but it turned out fine. Okay, put that on the card front, and I realized that my what's that stuff called? Dazzling Details wasn't quite dry yet on that heart, so I had to go back and apply it to the front of that heart. And you notice that I'm messing with this, the placement. I placed it down just a little bit wonky, so I peeled this up, and it had been on there for just a second too long, and it peeled up some of the cardstock, but that was an easy fix. There you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my channel on YouTube, and for liking this video, and for leaving a joyful comment. And also feel free to visit Candace'sCanvases.com, where you can join my team and purchase Stampin' Up! Goodies and homemade goodies. Are you ready for the reveal of the winner? Here she is, Amanda Lee. Congratulations. Thank you so much for participating, and I hope you enjoy your goodies. Send me an email with your address, girlfriend, and I'll get this sent out to you so you can enjoy them ASAP. Hope you guys all have a happy Labor Day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.